Okay, welcome back to Act 1, Part 2. Just a reminder that we are filling in the knowledge organiser. The red quotes are Inspector Gould, the blue ones for Mr. Birling, and the purple ones for references to Eva Smith. Okay, so we've been through these here, and the last thing I talked about was the inspector cutting through massively and taking charge. So we can see from this slide here, the blue, we learn a little bit more about Mr. Birling's view of working class, particularly women. Notice how he groups them together. So Eva Smith works for him, and he doesn't recognise or acknowledge her really, because he says we've several hundred young women there. So notice how he groups the working class together, almost as if they've not got faces. They're just a group of people that do something for him. And I think that shows his capitalist state, really, that he doesn't care about the individual working class people, and he doesn't even want to get to know them. The inspector quote here at the bottom is just another example of showing the inspector taking control and how he controls the family. So it's the way I like to go to work. So this is just an example of how the inspector has that power over the Birling family. Okay. The next thing to notice is Birling's response, and we can compare the whole family by the end of this play, because obviously Eva Smith has committed suicide, and she used to work for the Birling, the Birling Corporation about 2 years ago, and he fired her because she asked for more money. He thinks and says, I can't accept any responsibility. And I think that's important, that phrasing, I can't accept. He doesn't want to believe that he is responsible in any way. And he even backs that up with part of this capitalist view he had before. And I've just put it in bold so it can be a choice whether you use any of this. If we were all responsible for everything that happened to everybody, we'd had anything to do with it, it'd be very awkward. So he's saying, I can't be responsible. I can't look after everybody. That would be really difficult. So he's really acknowledging that he only cares about himself and his family, and that's what he believes, which again is capitalist. I've put in purple here from Mr. Birling's speech, his view of Eva Smith. So the way he describes her as lively, which suggests she's happy, she's talkative, she's got lots of things to say, which suggests that, she stands up for herself. It's mentioned several times that she's good looking or pretty. And I'm wondering if there's a patriarchal view behind that. If she's not good looking, then does that make a difference to the fact that she committed suicide or not? Country bred, reference to the fact that she is lower class. Ready to promote her. There's the fact that she works hard. He even says she's a good worker. So we know there's lots of positive things about her. In blue there, we can see Mr. Birling's view of what he thinks about working class people. So even though he's going to promote her, even though she's a good worker, even though she's working hard, he says the working class women wanted a raise. I refused, of course. So there's no argument at all or any belief at all that he thinks that the working class women deserve to be paid more, because he's just thinking about himself and his business. And he even reiterates that at the bottom here when he says, it's my duty to keep labour costs down. So he believes that in this capitalist view that it's my job to make sure I pay the working class as little as I possibly can so I can make as much as I can.